What's up, everybody? Thank you for coming to Coach Stokes' Roundtable today. And basically, we'll be talking about how do you feel about the allowances of professionals getting into the Olympics? Some things that they have been talking about for quite some time, and other things that we'll be talking about, you know, past fights, the Fury and Wilder and the fight that happened last night, whatever it is that we like to, you know, agenda that we like to talk about. Before I start, I'd like to give some acknowledgments. Basically, thank you to Coach Pete, Coach Pruitt, Coach Sims, and Coach Abdullah for attending the roundtable. And this is just some real coaches talking about some real things. So with that being said, let's just start with introductions. I'll start with myself. I'm Coach Stokes. I've had over 31 years in boxing and being a coach. Fought for the military team, All Marine boxing team, internationally, you name it. I've done it, and now I'm just a coach. I'm a boxing junkie, as we call it. Somebody just can't get away from boxing and just love the sport. With that being said, let's start off. Coach Pruitt, can you let everybody know who you are?
Julius Pruitt. I'm originally from Illinois. Been out in California for about a year and a half now. I'm a striking coach at AKA in San Jose, California. I've been in boxing for probably last 20-something years. Never had any pro fights, but had a lot of amateur fights, and I just like giving back.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you, Coach. Hey, Coach Abdullah, this is my brother over in Saudi Arabia. Can you please let everybody know who you are, sir?
Coach Abdullah. I grew up in between LA and Seattle, Washington, and the sport I'm mostly known for is football. You know, I played Division I football. I was a all-conference running back my senior year. Boxing was my first love. Started when I was 5. I never fought amateur or professional, but I was what you call a gym rat. I'm a boxing junkie like Coach Stokes. I've been in the gym, in the boxing gyms pretty much all my life, off and on. And now that I'm at this age, I've pretty much dedicated myself to strength and conditioning and coaching guys, you know, real pure boxing fundamentals.
Thank you, Coach. To my man, Coach Sims over in India.
Okay, my name is Ron Sims. In a couple of days, I'll be 55 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I started boxing when I was 21. I was an amateur for about 13 years. And then I turned professional, had 11 professional bouts, 11-0 with 8 knockouts. My last bout, I broke my second metacarpal clean in half, and that was the end of my career in boxing. In 1997, I gave up amateur boxing. I tried out for 3 Olympic trials, the 88 trials, the 92 trials, and the 96 trials. Unfortunately, I didn't make one Olympic team, but it was a great experience that I had in amateur boxing. I've been coaching ever since 1997. And I just recently, 2 years ago, took a job here in India to help them try to win Olympic medals. And I'm here in India, and I thank Steve for allowing me to be on this panel.
Thank you, Coach. Then last but not least, Coach Gloria Peak.
Hey, baby.
Hey.
Okay, I'm Coach Gloria Peak. I've been in amateur boxing a little over 40 years. I am a trailblazer. I know I'm the only woman with that amount of experience, the only woman to coach men on the Olympic level, or even before the Olympics, even the international level. I coached for years on the international level. And obviously, you know, this is my life. This is my passion. This is something, you know, that I love, and I love it because it gives me an opportunity to give back. It gives me an opportunity to raise kids like my son right there talking to you, Steve Stokes, who I raised. He's one of the thousands that I raised and brought up through the ranks, and all of those have done very well without having made it all the way to the Olympics. I coached in the 2012 Olympic Games. You know, was fortunate enough to coach Clarissa Shields to her gold medal, and some of the other guys who did not medal, but did very well in their Olympic showing. I also had the pleasure of working with Coach Sims. I knew him as an amateur, worked with him as an amateur, and then worked side by side with him as a coach. Mm-hmm. I hope he still remembers. He's kind of old now, 50, what? Yeah, he's still a baby to me. I'm
55.
55, he's still a baby. I'm 67, so I'm your senior. Anyway, I really appreciate being able to come to the Roundtable to talk to coaches. I'm constantly learning and improving my game. So this gives me an opportunity to hear what other coaches are doing, gives me an opportunity to pick up some things that can help me along the way. So thank you, sweetie, and glad to be here.
Thank you, Mom. Let's dive right into it, everybody. How do we feel about the allowance of professionals in the Olympics? Who would like to dive into that first? Anybody? Mr. Sims, go ahead, Ron. Go ahead, Ron.
Okay. From the very beginning of the Dream Team, I was totally against professionals being allowed to participate in the Olympic Games, because the Olympic Games has always been known for a place of amateurism, not professional. And I believe the professionals have taken the platform from the amateurs, especially in basketball. Back then, before I believe it was 1996. No, it was 1982. That was the first one. 1982. You used to have a platform for the NCAA players that didn't make it to the Final Four. Now there's no platform for the world to see them, or for the people that are into basketball to see them. So that's my stand on it. I don't believe that professionals belong in the Olympic Games. That's just my opinion.
Okay. Anybody else? Before I start, he just tuned in. Steve Cunningham, light heavyweight champion. Steve Cunningham just chimed in. Steve, can you hear me?
What's up, Steve?
Steve, is your mic working? You might have to sign back on. But Coach P, I know you very I know you don't like this.
No. I'll go with Coach Sims. I'm not in favor of pros coming into the amateurs. The Olympic has always, as he said, been a place for that amateur dream, that
what's up, Steve?
Opportunity.
Hey, what's up? Sorry,
okay. To strive for greatness. There's, they're there fighting for honor. They're there fighting for themselves, their families, the country that they come from. When you interject the pros in it, it's a totally different story. Pros are not fighting for honor. They're not fighting for. They don't even fight much more for the love of the sport, the art of the sport. When I watched that fight the other night, I was like, who the hell coaches? Not, but my other guy,
Wilder.
Who coaches him? Because I mean, no technique, no. I mean, I didn't see a jab. I saw flat-footedness. No movement.
Okay, all right, Coach. I'm gonna hold you on because I know you're gonna keep going. I gotta get everybody else. Hold on. No, hold on. So Ron don't like it. You don't like it, and I gotta get everybody else. So I gotta get everybody else too. Hold on. I gotta get the champ because he gotta introduce himself. Hold on. What's up, champ? Hey,
What's going on, guys?
Hey, Steve, can you introduce yourself to everybody? Let everybody know who you are.
Hey, man, I'm Steve, USS Cunningham, two-time world champion, cruiserweight world champion, USBA national heavyweight champion, and about to retire. I got a couple more fights left in me.
Good. What we're talking about, Steve, and I'll come back to you because I got to get the other coaches. I got to go around. But what we're talking about is how do you feel about professionals being allowed to fight in the Olympics? I want you to ponder on that, and I'm going to come back to you, okay?
Yeah.
Coach Julius, what do you think about that, brother?
I'm not in favor of it. I mean, I do say Olympic boxing have lost some of its luster, and adding the pros would add some excitement to it. But outside of that, I'm against it. I think you got more cons than pros when you talk about adding pros to the amateur. If you do that, some of the tradition would be lost. You would have no Ali's, Leonard's, Frazier's, Clarissa Shields. It would rob the sport of those type of things. And as well, you got mature grown men fighting kids. You got bad mismatches. You got to deal with now, like injuries, like you got pros fighting amateurs. So, you know, the risk factor will be greater.
Right. Okay.
So I'm totally against it as well.
Okay. We got three for against. Coach Abdullah, same question for you, sir.
Yeah, I'm totally against it as well. And I think it's gonna change the style, the amateur style. I think it's the amateur fighters. I'm hearing myself in echo. If you hear me pausing every so often, I don't know why I'm hearing myself in echo.
Okay.
But anyway, I think the development of a fighter is in his amateur career before he goes professional. And I think allowing the professionals into the amateur atmosphere, it's going to change that dynamic of development. And I don't know if it was just me, but I felt like I seen that a little bit in the 2012. It seemed like some of the guys that were coming from different countries, they weren't even fighting the amateur style. And I don't know, is that the evolution of boxing? I don't know, but I think pros shouldn't be allowed in the Olympics.
Okay. Thanks, Coach. Steve, you there? Hey, what do you think about that?
Man, I don't think that's a good idea. You know, I think it's I don't think they should bring pros into the amateurs. That's the goal is for amateurs to learn at this level and then progress to the pros, not pros come on back down. That's a step backwards. It messes up for the young guys trying to make it pro, trying to make it to the Olympics. You know, it throws it off a bit. It throws all the schematics, the chemistry off.
Right.
There's an advantage to the pro, you know, to the amateurs, fighting the amateurs. But also, there's an advantage to the amateur fighting the pro. Let's get that clear, because it's only 3 rounds, and an amateur could burn them out. So in actuality, it probably wouldn't be fair to a pro. You know, and I don't care about fear as life and fear. But I mean, just as on the scale of, this is only 3 rounds. Pros are used to 10 and 12, and especially if we're talking about world contention type pros, champions. These dudes don't start warming up to the 3rd and 4th round. You know what I mean? So the amateurs burn them out the point of it. But there are things that pro knows to do that could offset that, the power, you know what I mean, the experience. So I think they should leave it the way it is, you know what I mean?
Coach Pete, I want to ask you this. When we're talking about this is something that I've been reading, and Ron probably already knows this as well. But AIBA, what's the best way can I say this? AIBA wants a part of it, I feel like they want a part of the pro game.
Well, yeah, AIBA, their whole idea of coming up with going into they're trying to get a piece or break into the pro game. And it really did come out and try to get into the pro game going through the front door. But what happened was the promoters and all them told them to kiss their butt. That's not happening. You're not coming in here. So they decided to try to go through the back door because they want a piece of that action. It's about the money to them.
Yep.
And so they want a piece of that. And so their whole thing of, well, if we interject the pros in there, we can get some control, and we can get some control of some of these amateurs who are going to be fighting against these pros, and it's a way for them to get control of them, and then they would have a way to slide in to the professional ranks and be able to sink their teeth into it.
What about the risk factors, such as like you have somebody, for example, like Stephen Cunningham, decides, you know what, I tried out for Olympic trials, I didn't make it. I want to go back, but I won world championships. What if you get that kid, like he said, amateurs, top level amateurs will burn that pro out because that pro he's not used to, getting warmed up until the third or fourth round. That's a big factor right there. Do you want to risk coming back down and getting beat by an amateur and then going back to the pros? You know what I'm saying? Because, Coach, you ain't going to be able to show your face. For real. Steve, what you say about that?
Man, totally, man. That diminishes the pros' marketability. You know what I'm saying? That totally hurts his earning ability. He gets beat by an amateur. Bro, what you going to do? I mean,
right.
I think
yes,
there's I think there's a greater factor too for the pros, because don't forget this, you're not getting anything from this amateur competition. You're gonna get a little medal, and if you win a gold, you'll get $2,500. Okay? If you're a pro used to making big money, okay, and you decide to go in and fight amateur, and you get cut up or anything like that, now you've got an injury, you've got to wait for that to heal. You might have had a big fight coming up shortly after coming from the Olympics. All of that is thrown off. So it's more of a risk factor for the pros, yes, than it is for the amateurs. Amateurs are used to that. They're used to the fast game and stuff like that. And they're starting to get used to the fighting without the headgear and dealing with the cuts.
Yeah. Mr. Sims, would you allow your pro to do that, to go back? I mean, if it's something he really wanted to do, you really can't stop him. But what would you tell him?
I would advise him not to, because like you already said, that there's a possibility of you being defeated by an amateur. And here, am I coming in okay?
You are. You're dragging a little bit, but I hear you.
Okay, maybe because I'm international. I don't know.
Right.
But yeah, I wouldn't want a professional that I'm working with to go back to amateurs. That's going backwards, in my opinion. And I'm not gonna say anything bad about AIBA, but they have a lot of stuff going on right now. And I don't know if you know or not, they had a program called APB. They have taken that off the table. There is no longer any more APB. They just have the amateur program now.
What is APB?
It was IAPA professional boxing. They also have the WSB. That's still going
World Series
on.
of Boxing.
Okay.
Mhm.
And they have what do they call it now? IAPA Olympic boxing.
Okay.
Those are the three that they have. But they had added APB, and now that is taken off the table.
Okay. Okay. Coach Pruitt, I know it's different because you work on the mixed martial arts side of the game. Are they talking about doing this in mixed martial arts as well? Eventually making that into into the Olympics?
I mean, not that I heard of. You know, I don't think so.
Okay. Okay.
But back to the Olympics, I just think at the end of the day, the power of a pro is going to override the finesse of an amateur fighter. You know, so I just think the power going to override the slapping type punches from an amateur, and you're going to be able to walk an amateur down.
Well, you know, you got some amateurs. You got a lot of amateurs that don't slap. Top quality amateurs. For example, Keyshawn Davis. Watch Keyshawn Davis. He's one of the top level amateurs right now. I think he will make the Olympics. I think he will win a gold medal.
All right, where is he out of?
He's out of Norfolk, Virginia.
All right.
Why? Be on the lookout for him. You got a lot of kids out there though, but I maybe it's just me, but I feel like 80% of top level amateurs will beat a lot of pros. Am I wrong on that, Steve?
No, you're not. Especially in a 3-round fight. I mean, these kids, they know how to win their hands, they know how to move, and they're just as good as some of these pros.
Okay. Coach Abdullah?
Remember from the 2016, the Rio Olympics.
Uh-huh.
I just looked it up to make sure none of the pro fighters made it past the 16th round.
Really?
None of them.
Wow. So they had, how many pros did they have fighting in the Olympics? Do you know?
No, I don't know that.
Okay.
But the name that I just picked up, I seen Hassan Ndam from Cameroon.
Okay.
And he lost. He lost pretty terribly, according to this article.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So we all agree. I'm sorry. Go ahead, US.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm at the gym.
That's all right.
But another issue is, like I said, what level of pros are we using? You know what I mean? Are we using a Vladimir? Are we using Adrian Broner, a Steve Cunningham? Are we using former champions?
Right.
Or are we using guys who are just making rankings? You know, that makes a big difference.
You know what? And I thought the same thing too. Will it be more? How many A-side list champions will actually do it, or will it be the lower B class or even C class pro fighters that would do it?
Exactly. Now, if it's the C class pro, the amateurs beat them easy. If it's the B class, it's very possible the amateurs beat them. Now, with the champions, it's still possible the amateurs beat them because of the 3 minutes and and the pace, 3 rounds. I mean, but it depends on the level of the pro. Big time.
Yeah.
You got anything for that, Coach Speak?
No, I agree. I agree with him. It depends very much on the level pro that they bring in there. I don't see the higher level pros doing that. That just doesn't make sense to me. Why? It's not advantageous to them at all. Maybe the C level, they got nothing else and nothing to lose. They'll come in there, but the amateurs will make quick work of them. But the B, they might have a shot depending on who they pull. But yeah,
Okay.
I agree with that.
So we all vote That's 5 thumbs, no, 6 thumbs down. 6 thumbs down that we disagree with that. Let me see a thumbs down, Ron. Let me see a thumbs down, Julius. There we go. There we go. Hey, next I want to talk about the Wilder and Fury fight. Okay. Now I'm hearing a whole bunch of stuff saying that he didn't beat the count. It's a whole bunch of stuff that you see. Let me start with my man in the top left-hand corner, Coach Abdullah. Coach Abdullah, did you see the fight?
Yes, I did. I'm gonna put the count aside and just, you know, from what I saw, Fury dominated the fight, in my opinion. This fight reminded me of the Gerald Washington fight, when Gerald Washington was pretty consistent in the first 4 rounds with his jab, and they kind of kept Deontay at bay, and he didn't seem to really have an answer, or he's just looking for that good night. In this fight, in the Tyson Fury fight, he seemed a little bit more vulnerable. He got hit with the right hand, quite a few times up into even he obviously had the swollen left eye. But at the end of the day, Deontay got that eraser that he can call upon, at any point. The thing that I would say, and that's amazing about Deontay Wilder, is that he came in at 212 pounds. He fought a guy 6'9", 250-some pounds, went 12 rounds with him, and still was able to put him down twice.
Yeah.
That's an amazing feat for any, from an athletic point of view. I'm a strength and conditioning coach primarily. That's amazing for a guy 212 pounds to be able to have power in the 12th round like that. Do I agree with the draw? I could go with the draw, but I don't agree with the people that say that Deontay outpointed Tyson Fury on that fight with those 2 knockdowns. And that's what I'll say about that.
Okay, so one last question. Would you pay to see a rematch?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I would want to see if Tyson Fury just got himself up for that fight, or if he's going to be consistent after this fight, keep training, keep getting in better shape. And I want to see Deontay pull some more weapons out the toolbox. I mean,
he doesn't have it.
Hold on, Coach. Hold on, Coach.
You're right, Coach.
Hold on, Coach. I'm sorry, I had to mute you, baby. Oh, hold on, Coach. Hold on, Coach. You gotta wait. I know you, Coach. I know you work with this brother, and you know his ins and outs. So just I'm gonna save you for last, okay? Hey, Coach Abdullah. So let me ask you this: who are you riding with in the rematch?
You know what? It's a pick fight because it all determines with Deontay looking that bad, okay, over 12 rounds and still put him down twice. That's still intriguing enough to know that he can still do it again. Okay? The key question is Tyson going to do the work he needs to do? And I'm also still intrigued to see if Deontay is going to show us something else. Because he's going to have to show us something else. I mean, that's why I want to put the count on the side. Because if we talk about that count, we could also talk about when Deontay was out on his feet with Ortiz. Some referees might have waved him off.
Right. I see you, Steve. I see you. Hold on. Okay. We'll save that. All right. Thanks, Coach Abdullah. Coach Sims, your take on the fight, sir.
I did see the fight, and to me, it was the worst fight I've ever seen in my life. It was terrible. There was no action. People say, can you move like Muhammad Ali? It was a disgrace to boxing. And then after every round, when nothing was done, he'll go back and celebrate. And I'm like, nobody did anything. It was disgusting. The only exciting part was the 2 knockdowns in the whole fight. Wilder did not do what I thought he would do. I thought that he would jab to the body, punch to the body. He just abandoned it. Everyone knows you go to the body, the setup to come up top for the head. He did nothing. He just waited. And I did not pay to see this one, but I would not even want to watch the second one.
Okay. Thank you, Coach. Thank you. Coach Pruitt, what you got for us, baby?
Well, for me, the fight surpassed expectations. I was picking Fury to win the fight from the start, but it was all based on what type of shape he was going to come into. And I think Fury outboxed him, and I think Wilder received basically a gift, with the draw. But if they were in the rematch, I think Wilder would stop him, somewhere in the middle of the fight. I think he'd put pressure on him because Fury has really no power to hurt Wilder, and I think second fight, Wilder put pressure on him and actually stop him. I think Fury's best chance of winning was that first fight. I think Wilder can make adjustments, and I think you're going to get the same Fury in a rematch.
Okay. Thanks, Coach Jay. Hey, I'm going to go to the man who knows Fury like the back of his hand. He fought him. He dropped him. U.S. Cunningham, talk to me, man. How you think that fight was and what's going to happen?
Man, I agree with everybody's assessment, even Ron Sims, man. I understand where Ron's coming from. We come from a different era of heavyweights, we come from the era of monsters, killers. Yeah. These heavyweights now, it's like the Adrian Brothers, it's like a hip-hop phase, it's like, hey, look what I'm doing. They can showboat, do a little something, and steal money. With that being said, though, I thought the fight did exceed its expectations. I was glad it didn't do like we hype a fight up, it's so hype, and then it's a dud. It wasn't a dud. It was exciting to me. I love watching boxing for boxing, and the knockouts. But if a guy's boxing, I enjoy it. So Fury, to me, I had Wilder to kill Fury by the 7th or 8th round. I didn't know that Wilder. I didn't know that Wilder was going to look like an amateur still, and I'm going to keep it real. I'm not hating on the brother. He's a millionaire. He's doing his thing. He's champion. But still, he needs to go back to the drawing board on a lot of things, which I believe is not going to happen because he's 40 fights in with 39 knockouts. It's not going to happen. Wilder, anybody out here looking for Wilder to change and start double jabbing and in under, that ain't going to happen. Who's going to be able to tell him in the gym, yo, champ, you need to work that jab, then the hook, then the right hand. And they'll train it in the gym, but he's not going to do it in the ring. He's 40 fights in with 39 knockouts with no losses. He's going to do what he's been doing. He's got a great mind in his corner, Mark Breland. And for us to be like, you have to think, is Mark telling him to fight like that? No. And Mark's not telling him to fight like that. Mark's telling him to box. But Wilder's going in there doing what he does. And Mark Breland is just riding the wave. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm not going to rock the ship. Hey, we winning. Hey, man, I did tell you to double jab, but yo, F that. You got him out here anyway. So with all that being said, the second fight, I can't wait for the rematch. I'm going to pay. If it was $80, I'd pay for it. It's going to be exciting because, like you said, the great eraser is there. And personally, as you said, I know Fury personally. I fought him the grueling fight. My boxing ability made him do things to get the win that, he should have been disqualified, but it is what it is. He got the win. And I spoke with him. I went to camp with him. He told me, he's like, hey, man, I had to do what I had to do. And I'm like, I understand that. This is boxing. If the ref lets you, handle your business. Now, with that being said, also, I seen the work he does. Fury is in shape. You're not going to just get in there and just hit him a couple times and he goes down. That dude does some work that he actually going to his camp helped me change my camp. You know, I stole some of the things that he does. So I know he's in shape. And then he went up to Big Bear to train. That's even more dangerous, you know. So that makes him more in shape and more dangerous of a position. So with the rematch, man, with the rematch, you can't go against Wilder. You know what I mean? Now listen to what I'm saying. You can't go against Wilder. He put the man down twice. We seen Wilder overshooting the jab. I mean, overshooting the right hand because he was so anxious.
Yeah.
Of course, they're going to tighten that up a bit. As he said it himself at the press conference, he overshot it. There was no uppercut off of the right hand. I didn't see that at all, which it should have been. He got Fury out of there early. But so they're going to fix that. The question is, it's not what Wilder's going to do. It's what Fury's going to do. Because Fury doesn't have knockout power. Fury can box, though. So what is he going to box even more? Also, you see Fury in the fight. You see where Fury could have gotten if he'd pressed Wilder a little more. He stunned Wilder a few times. He could have made something happen. He could have got a knockdown, a wave off, possibly, especially in that 12 after that knockdown. And so we'll see if Fury's team picks up on that. If not, he'll box the same way. I think he gets knocked out. You know what I mean? I think Fury loses the rematch.
Okay. Hold on, Ron. I get you after Coach Peak because I know her lips is burning right now.
Yo, man, listen, I love the art of boxing. The art of boxing, okay? Which means you have skills. You know, you have a jab. You can double jab. Like Simpson said, you can throw the uppercut, come back with the hook, okay? Your footwork is such that you can move into scoring position, score, pivot, step around, set the man up, take him down. You're not out there winging like some wild man, you know, and you're only one-dimensional. You know, Wilder's one-dimensional. He has a right hand, nothing else in his toolbox. Right hand, okay? You throw that right hand enough, pray enough, you're going to catch somebody. Okay, you pressure him enough, maybe you hit him 1 or 2 times. Yeah, you know, you sooner or later, if you're able to stick around, you're going to catch him with the right hand and you're going to be down. Right. But, I mean, you know, I find it, it's so boring to me. I can't look at it because I see no skills. I can appreciate a boxer that can show me some skills. Fury was out there, as tall as that brother is, and as big as he is, he's throwing straight jabs and hitting this cat. He's hitting him with a right hand. He's not dragging his back foot up and squaring up to the man, which is what you saw Wilder doing a lot of the time. And he didn't move like a boxer. You know, he was walking on both feet like he was a robot. You know, 1, 2, 1. I'm like, what the hell? That's not how you move towards your opponent.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, man, I can't waste my money on that kind of crap. That was crap. I'll read about it after the fight is over because it just seems today, and I know there's going to be guys that are going to be upset, pros, when I say this. It's not about the skills anymore, okay? It's all about show. I come into the ring, I got my mask on, I got my Superman cape on, yeah. I make a lot of noise, yeah. You know, I get the fans to follow me, I hit somebody one time, it's a lot of noise.
Ron dying over there.
And nobody sees that I don't have any skills, nobody sees that I'm not really a boxer, they just see, oh yeah, man, he's a superhero, he can go in there and do this and do that. I mean, when you break it down, it depends on what you want. If you're looking for that kind of showtime, then you got it, you know. But if you're really looking for, you know, fights and somebody with some skills and ability, then you're not. So unfortunately, there's a lot of fighters out there you're not going to find that in. That's my take on it, and I stand by it.
We stand with you on that, Coach. Hold on. Let me get Ron because Ron wanted to chime in. Go ahead, Ron.
Coach Peak, you were on point with that one. You were on point. But I want to just go back because I forgot to say that when Freud went down the second time, your average referee would have stopped that, would not even have counted. He was out. He was out. I just wanted to remind everyone of that. That bout should have been stopped. They were not looking for the safety of this guy. And unfortunately, earlier that day, one guy had just went into a coma. So I think the referee did not do a good job. That bout should have been stopped the way that guy went down. Now, I do give Pruitt credit for getting up. I mean, it was amazing because he was out asleep for like 5 seconds, would not move. And then when the referee bent over, it's almost like he had some type of smelling salts or something that he just all of a sudden woke up and then stood up and he made the count. He made the count from what I saw.
He looked like the Undertaker.
I think the bout should have been. I don't watch wrestling too much, but I think that the bout should have been stopped because he was out cold.
So let me ask everybody this then. We've seen fights where they stop it too soon. Do you think he should have been permitted or allowed to get up like he did, or he should just stop the fight flat out?
I think they should have stopped it because he was out. He can't even tell you what happened. He cannot remember. He was out. Even though he got up, he was still out. And even though he fought, he was out. He cannot remember any of that.
Okay.
And I know because I've been there before.
Okay. All right. Ron. Julius, what you think?
I agree. I think they should have stopped it. You'd rather be safe than sorry and let him live to fight another day.
We did talk about that because you and I discussed what happened to Adonis Stevens as well. Hold on. Hey, Coach Abdullah, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, just based on boxing history, like Coach Sim said, I mean, you see somebody get knocked down and bounce their head back and their eyes roll back, it's over. It's a wrap. You don't even count. You just wave your hand. I mean, that's probably what it should have happened.
Okay. Champ, USS.
Hey, this is a very, 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 man, I have a very great example of this fight. And I was going back and forth with people all week about that count. Now, my example is my fight with Amir Mansour. I was knocked down twice by Amir Mansour. Amir Mansour, the second time, that one hurt. The first one was a flash knockdown. The second one hurt. I was like, shit. But when I hit the ground, I was up, my chin was up, but I cussed. And I was like, shit, fuck. And Steve Smoger was the ref, so Steve Smoger, he caught some flack for allowing me to get up and, because I beat the count. So he caught flack from Mansour's team and, Mansour's brother and I'm like, hey, man, he didn't make the count. That wasn't a 10 count. That was a 13 count. And so Steve Smoger did a seminar and a video that I posted the link up on my Facebook to show everybody it's not a 10-second count. It's a 10 count at the ref's discretion. That's the rules. So, the ref, Fury can get knocked down. The ref can run over there and say, hey, Fury, how many kids you got? Wait for him to answer and then go 2. Hey, Fury, you all right? Wait for him to answer and say 3. It's at the ref's discretion. So, but with that being said, when Fury went down, I said to myself, it's over. I thought the ref was going to waive it too, Like you said, any other ref would have waived that fight. I thought he was out. But the ref chose not to, and he gave him that discretion. And Fury hopped up and got up and hurt Wilder. He stunned Wilder. He stopped him in his tracks a couple times. So was the ref wrong from that? I don't think he was wrong, but that ref, he rolled the dice, though. He surely rolled the dice. Now, that's my assessment on that. Though.
That was Jack Reese, right? I believe that was Jack Reese.
Yeah.
And he's a pretty good ref from what I've seen in the past. Coach P.
I like to err on the side of my athlete. I don't care whether you're an amateur or pro. I take care of you like you're my own, and I just don't. I'd rather be safe than sorry. And he's right about that. It's up to the referee, but it's I don't know. I think the guy was hurt, and I would agree with Sims that he probably can't remember, because what happens is the mind becomes unconscious, but the body continues to work. You know, this is where the mind and the body separates. The mind is not there. The body continues to do what it's been trained to do, and that's fight. So he may have been totally out and not even know he was fighting, but his body was fighting. So I don't know. That's one you can go either way. I would have preferred him to stop it.
Okay, Steve.
Yeah. Yo, I mean, she's saying the exact thing. She's saying the truth. There's a fight that I fought, my first fight in Vegas, man. I went down. This guy hit me so hard. I got up, threw 3 punches, and blacked out. Woke up at the 8th round. That was the 2nd round. You know, so and I was winning the fight. I won the fight, unanimous decision. But I was out. I don't remember from the 2nd round to the 8th. And it was an 8-round fight to the middle of the 8th round. And I can show you on video. See, that's when I woke up, you know. So she's correct. You know what I mean? That happens.
Okay. hey, that's happened. For real. Where you been days and you get knocked out of your days and come right back and crazy stuff. Yeah, I definitely understand. I want to ask you guys this. Is greatness hereditary? Think about that. I'm going to go around and ask everybody. Is greatness hereditary? So, for example, if my dad was a world champion, I'd be a world champion. Hold on. Coach Abdullah, you the first one in the Lions den. Go ahead.
Wow. I'm going to say no. Greatness is not hereditary. I think great ones are born, though. And they're groomed by a constituency of people. But I don't think it's just because, I mean, we can look at a lot of, you know, great ones. They didn't produce great ones. I'm going to stop there. I'm just going to say no. It's not hereditary. I think you might have some God-given gifts that you might have inherited from your mother or father that might help you, but the complete package of being great, no, that's not hereditary.
Okay. I'm going to elaborate on that. When you're talking about greatness, for example, like Floyd Mayweather Sr., then you got Floyd. Shane Mosley Sr., then you got Shane Mosley Jr. His son is fighting now. Julius Cesar Chavez Sr. and JC Chavez Jr. You know, you have so many out there. So I want you guys to ponder on that. But Coach Jay, Coach Julius, what do you have to say when it comes to that?
I would say no as well. I mean, you got more examples where, like the people you just named. I mean, Mayweather is a great fighter, but I mean, his dad wasn't a great fighter. But you got more examples of it not being that way than you do. I mean, and even outside of boxing, you go to other sports. You got Jordan and his kids. So it's not boxing. So I would say no.
Got you. Ron, talk to me.
Okay, I would say it's not hereditary, but I would say that it's almost like royalty, that is passed down, that you must be around someone that is great in order to be great. I would give you a prime example of Montel Griffin.
Mm-hmm.
As a little kid, he was around Muhammad Ali a whole lot, but his mother would not allow him to box because she was a Jehovah's Witness, and just him being in Ali camps, and you know, he wanted to box, and just being around there. Then when he got older, he came to boxing, came back to boxing. His father was a coach. He makes the Olympic team. He fights Roy Jones. The first one he wins disqualification. But I think that the skills that I cannot say that the skills that he acquired, but him being around greatness, it kind of rubbed off on him, and it propelled him to a level. I say that, I mean, let's say Ali also in his camp was Larry Holmes. That was his chief sparring partner.
Mm-hmm.
And after Ali was finished, then Holmes is the next champion for over 10 years, you know, dominating. Have the best, I think the best jab in the history of boxing.
Without a doubt.
I think that you have to have access to greatness in order to become great. You have to be around greatness so that it can rub off on you. I don't think that it's hereditary. It comes from a bloodline, but I think that you must be crowned. Someone that's great must touch your head and anoint you to become great. That's the way that I see it.
Thank you, Coach. Coach Peak.
I agree with all the gentlemen that have spoken already. It's not hereditary. That's obvious. If that were the case, you know, all of the great athletes we have in all these different sports would be producing their own offspring that would be moving into greatness and taking over their legacy. But that doesn't happen. But like what Ron said is so true. You've got to be around that. You need to be exposed to that, touched by that. You need that, and you need a coach that's a mentor that can help develop that within you and make that blossom so that, you know, you can move up and fulfill your dreams and be that great athlete. So no, it's not by birth, but it's definitely by association and working with, you know, other greats in order to learn how to become great, how to be great.
Thank you, Coach Peak. Steve, talk to me about that.
This is a very good topic because I have a son who was rated actually number 10 right now in USA Boxing by points. There are other number 10s, but we made our first USA Boxing tournament. We made it to the semifinals. Now I have an 8-year-old about to have his first fight next Saturday. So the thing about this is champion, and I screamed at him in bloodline. You know, when we in the corner, it's a bloodline. You know, just to hype them up.
Yeah.
But what I mean by that is they grew up around the championship level of boxing all their lives. You know, from the cradle. I bring them to the gym with me. You know, my wife went to work. I went to the gym. My boys, they saw a champion from day one. They were around champions. Carl Dargan, Brother Nazim, Rock Island, Olympian, Julian Williams. We just are always around champions. So when they started boxing, they exhibited these otherly skills that were, you know, a little more advanced than other children that I saw, hey, man, we can work with that. You know, damn, they look good. Not saying, oh, man, he's going to be the next champion. But being a champion isn't hereditary. You know, I don't think it's hereditary. I think what's hereditary is that grit. You know what I'm saying? Because this is why everybody they can't box. You have to have that bite down on the mouthpiece, that take the pain, that work through the pain, that go get it. You have to have that. And that is what's hereditary. You know what I mean? That's what's hereditary. Being a champion isn't, because if that was the case, every champion's son would be a champion. You know what I'm saying? And we have a lot of champions whose sons fought. And you got Camacho Jr., he did pretty well. You got Corey Spinks, he was a damn unified champion. You know, he's a beast. But look we have Hearns' son, didn't do that great. I don't know if he's still fighting. And we have Joe Frazier's son. You know what I'm saying? So, and the list goes on. But what is hereditary is that's what's in the DNA. That's what's in the spirit that passes from son to father to son, is that grit, that bite down, that fight. You know what I mean? And one more thing I wanted to say, dang, I kind of lost track, but your kids, my children here, my children, they got what they what they know from watching me from day one. You know, they watch me kill it. They watch me work hard, and they saw my skill level. So it's about mimicking. You can mimic greatness. You can copy it. You can imitate it, but you're not born with it.
Steve, so let me ask you this. I want to play devil's advocate.
Yes.
Being that you have 2 sons, right? That's fighting. One's by getting ready to fight. One is already fighting.
Yeah.
Is it fair to expect your child to surpass you and what you've done in the sport?
You know what? I believe that. I'm one of them guys who believe, and then not just in boxing. I believe you should think that. You should think that because as being a man also, my sons are going to be a better father than I was. You know what I mean? They should be. They should be a better businessman than I am, because the mistakes that I made, I'm teaching them how to not make them. You know, they want to make their mistakes, blah, blah, blah. But even in fighting, you know, me and my wife's my manager, we have a plan. If Junior, he's 16 now, he just turned 16, if he wants to go pro, we will manage him. We have a plan. I was the guinea pig. All of the stuff that I went through, all of the fails and the business problems and the this, the that, the contracts, it won't get him. That won't get him as it did me. So he'll be better than me on other levels. Skill set wise, he's already shown he has the same drive, the same goal, the same grit. And he's doing, you know, just as better. He's doing better than I did as an amateur, you know, at age 16. I wasn't even fighting at age 16. So, you know, he is doing better. You should expect that. If it doesn't happen, that's not well, see, that doesn't work like that. No, you should expect the son to be better than the father.
So let me ask you this then.
Yes.
I'm a dad and I train my son. Do you feel like some people may look at us and think like, you know, we go too hard, or you shouldn't be telling your son this, or, you know, you might going to turn them off. And that's happened in the past, you know, with other people. But I want to ask you this. Are you setting your child up for disappointment and failure by setting those standards like that? Or are you making them a better person?
I think the father and son relationship in the gym needs to be like son and stranger. Like an athlete, period. You know, I don't cut my son any breaks. You know, sometimes I'm actually on, especially my little son Cruz, who's about to fight next weekend, because he's shown exhibited skills from day one, you know, better than what my junior did. So I know what he can do. So I push him. You know, I let him see. I push him to that brink to where he see, oh, snap, oh, I can throw that 3-punch combo off of the slip, you know, and not get hit. And I can do this. And it's like, but if I let him go, if I slack, he won't see that, you know. So I'm showing him, being a little harder on him is going to help him. We from the military, baby.
Right.
You know what I mean? I train my boys just like that. You know, I'm in their ass. Excuse my French. I'm in their ass like we was in boot camp. You know, that's what camp is to us. But in that, I'm telling them, hey, you did great right there. This is why we did that. You know, giving them that other end of it, you know, that loving end to keep. Because my main thing is we've seen the father-son relationship in boxing go like this a lot, you know. And my goal is to be in my son's life regardless if they're boxing or not. I'm not going to allow boxing to break us. So I still show them that love, correct them, show them what they're doing right. But I'm in that ass like a trainer, though. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Coach Julius, did you want to chime in on that?
No, I mean, I agree with what he just said. I mean, if you're around, you know, great people, great athletes, you're going to pick up things a lot sooner. And like he said, his younger child is picking up things a lot quicker than the one to 16 or 17.
Right.
Because now he got multiple people to look up to.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with that.
Okay. Anybody else like chime in on that? Coach Pete.
Yeah, I agree with what he said. I mean, you know, you and I talk about it all the time, you know, about, you know, fathers, you know, coaching their sons and the things that, you know, they need to do. And, you know, you can't listen to the people on the outside. I mean, first of all, they don't know a lot about what's going on. And most of them don't know enough about boxing, you know, to really judge, you know, what you're doing and why you're doing it, you know, and what it's going to produce down the line. So, no, I agree with what he said.
Okay. I got a question. I want to throw this question out to my strength and conditioning coach in the left-hand corner, Coach Abdullah. I want to ask you this, Coach. Who is really responsible for the athlete's health, that is, and what is allowed in competition? So, I mean, who is basically responsible for that? Would you say? Is it the coach? Is it his parents? Is it the entire team unit? What is it?
For amateur or a pro athlete?
Both.
I'm going to say the individual first. First and foremost, you're going to be responsible for your own health. But me personally, as a strength and conditioning coach, I take it very personal when I'm training a guy in the camp. And I look out for their health. I would like to believe that their immediate family is looking out for their health as well. If I'm working with like say for example, let's say you were the fight coach, I would, have an expectation for you to look out for your fighter. If we're working as a team, I'm doing the strength and conditioning, you're the fight, you're the head trainer, I would expect you to look out for his health. But at the end of the day, I know some athletes can't make the decision. Me being an athlete, former athlete, sometimes we can't make the decision for ourselves. So I guess it has to be, everybody has to be on the same page, that we're going to protect this person's health. The second part of your question, you said what's allowed and what's not allowed?
What is allowed in competition? Basically the health and what is allowed in competition. So basically the general total person, everything, just basically who's in charge of that. And you expressed me, you said everybody is it, the entire team, most importantly,
well,
the fighter.
If I'm in, I can only put myself in scenarios. If I'm in the corner and I see something, I mean, I'm gonna look out for the fighter's health, even if he's not. I've been in some fights where, it was, questionable. There was some difference of opinion in the corner about the fighter's health. Mm-hmm. For me, I don't take any chances with the person's health. You can live to fight another day. At the end of the day, I hope I'm answering this.
There's no wrong question. So, for example, I want to throw this on the table. Coach Pete, I grew up in upstate New York, the west side of Rochester. We know how it is. It's bad over there. Ron, you grew up in D.C. JP, you grew up in Detroit. Hey, Steve, you grew up in Philly, and Coach Abdullah, what I'm saying? You grew up in Seattle and between LA. Most kids that come from socioeconomic poverty places don't have the money to eat right. They are on a limited budget. So the majority of food that they're getting is not going to be healthy. I want to know from each coaches, what will you do to talk to that individual's parents to try to bring them on board, or their team? Because a lot of kids say they want to be world champion, but they don't know what it takes to be a world champion. So, hey, U.S. Cunningham, start with that.
I mean, it depends on what level we're talking about. If we're talking about amateurs, we're talking about amateurs.
Yeah, amateurs. Let's stick with amateurs first, because you got to be a great amateur before you can be a great pro.
No doubt. So as an amateur, it depends on what level you're on. Is this the beginning of your amateur career? Are we fighting U.S. nationals? Are we, on that U.S. national level? I'm talking to the parents. Hey, he needs to do this in order to keep his weight down, in order to keep strength. I'll give them the hint. It's up to them I'll give them the info. It's up to them to follow through. Now I'll see it in the training. You know what I mean? You'll be able to see what your athletes, how he's living, how he or she is eating. If it's properly, you see the energy. If it's not, you see the breakdown. So it's up to them if they want to do what it takes to get there. I mean, and I can only speak for myself. There's things that I did as an amateur that I knew a lot of other amateurs, and as a pro, I knew other pros weren't doing. you know, and I count that to me being a 2-time world champion. You know, I couldn't go to sleep without doing 200 push-ups or sit-ups. It was like a religion to me. You know, I had to run so many times. I had to. It was burning within me, you know, and I had to eat this in order to get that energy I needed. So if they're not willing, that's when you leave it on them. Hey, I'm doing my part. I'm training you. I'm giving you this knowledge. This is your part. Do your end. If you're not going to do your end, you don't want to be champ.
Got you. Hey, Ron, what are you doing for those athletes over there in Egypt? Not Egypt, in India, man.
Yeah, well, I have a special sort of circumstances. It's totally different than it is in the USA. Here, I'm at an institute, whereas we have strength and conditioning coaches, we have physiotherapists, we have sports scientists. We have the whole gamut. We have everything that these young athletes need. Now, you know, back home, you know, you have, like you said, you have poverty where families don't have money to give their kids the proper food. And fortunately, it's a lot of us coaches that comes out of our own pocket to make sure that our athletes are able to go to tournaments. And sometimes we take them to get something to eat because we know that they don't have. Even though we don't have that much, we try to make sure that these young athletes get what they need. And I think that it's head coach's responsibility with assistance. I think the head coach should know everything about the athlete. But if he has help, like I am right now, and I'm the head coach, and I have a nutritionist for each athlete. I know the problem of each athlete. I know where the weights are. But then I go to the nutritionist and say, okay, this person needs to meet this weight, and we want them at this weight, but we want them strong at this weight. Can you make it happen? So the nutritionist, he would look at them and do tests on them, and then he would give them an individual diet. Now it's up to the athlete to live by that diet. But I check on my athlete, hey, are you eating? Are you doing what you were told? So it's my responsibility overall, okay, in every aspect as the head coach. But you do need assistance. And let me say one more thing, Steve, and I may be taking it out of bounds a little bit. Now, this is a problem that I see in coaching. A lot of people don't know their roles. Okay, I'm talking about coaching. When you have coaches and assistant coaches and stuff like that. But the coach is the coach. The assistant coach is not the coach for the athletes. The assistant coach is assistant coach to the head coach. That's who the assistant coach is there for. Is for the head coach, not for the athlete. And I think that a lot of times this is where people will get mixed up. Strength and conditioning coaches, they feel like they are the coach. You are not the coach for that athlete. You are there to assist the head coach. And you guys work together. And yes, both of you are looking out for the betterment of the athlete, but you must stay in your lane and work with what the coach is asking you to work with or to improve. Mm-hmm. And the coach should have total knowledge of everything. So that's my take on that, Steve.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Coach JP. Yeah, elaborate on that. I'm sorry, brother. I got to get your voice, man. I know you're dealing with laryngitis right now, but
yeah. But no, I would say what makes you great is what you do outside of your normal practice time. If you got to be at the gym 2 hours, a lot of other people in the gym for 2 hours, but it's what you do outside of those 2 hours is what makes you good. And so, and with that means is you're doing your road work. You getting proper amount of sleep. And if you're eating a lot of junk food, your performance is going to be junk. And so I just think you're doing you're not going above and beyond it by showing up for 2 hours in training. That's what they expected of you to do. but it's what you do outside of that is going what makes you great.
Gotcha. Thanks, Coach. Coach Pete, can you talk? Let us know
what you do outside of that, because the last thing I said to the boxers at the Willingboro Club on Friday was, look, gentlemen, I train you 5 days a week. However, there are 7 days in a week. I expect you to train 7 days out of the week. That means what you're doing on the outside is just as important. Okay, it's not just the time you come and put in the gym. And you know, what everybody's been talking about is right on point. You know, it starts with the head coach. You know, being able to assure that the athletes are getting everything they need, and that would be to include nutrition. Because what I found over my 40 years, a lot of the kids coming into me, they not only they may not have the money, or they're not able to eat good at home, they don't know what is good food and what isn't. Okay, all they know is that I've got enough money to buy a hamburger and fries because it's cheap and it tastes good. Okay, and they might eat the greasiest stuff before they come to the gym, and then wonder why into 10 minutes of my training, they're on the floor cramping up and throwing up because of what they had just eaten prior to coming. Okay, so it becomes my responsibility to teach them nutrition, what to eat, how to eat, you know, and if I don't know, I get the people who do know, the people who can help me. You know, I bring in those expertise in order to assure that my athlete is able to climb the ladder to greatness. And it's my job to assure that a lot of things are in place to make that happen. One of the things I'll tell you real quickly is Keyshawn Davis. Keyshawn, who was my athlete when he was 8, Keyshawn liked to eat everything under the sun. And I would say, listen, you just shot up 2 pounds. We're supposed to be going and fighting at this weight. Okay, so then I take the weight off of him, and he cried. He hated to lose weight. So I would say, then you need to eat right. Oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna eat right. So the next time he done shot up another 2-3 pounds, I stripped the weight off. I don't care how he cries. So finally I go to his mom, say, listen, this is the problem we're having, because what he wants to do, because he's gained weight and he doesn't want to lose it, he wants to move up in weight. Every time he was overweight, he wanted to move up to the next weight class. And his thing is, come on, coach, you know I can beat him. Well, I didn't know he can beat him, but that didn't matter. You've got to learn the discipline. You need the discipline of knowing your body, knowing how to maintain your weight, staying where you're going to be the strongest and the best at. And that's not keep moving up in weights. And so it took him a while. He finally learned that. It was reinforced when he made the USA team. And now he lives in Colorado, and he has access to all the best, you know, trainers and nutritionists and stuff. So he doesn't have that problem now.
Right.
But, you know, it takes the coach and a village to sort of, you know, kind of get them to where they need to be.
Everybody, I just want to tell you guys, thank you for being a part of this roundtable. We're going to go ahead and cut it. It's been an hour already. Hour and 20 minutes is flown by, but I want to thank everybody for coming in. What I would like to do is have everybody plug themselves at the end, starting with Coach Abdullah. If people would like to follow you on social media or get in contact with you, how do they get in contact with you, Coach?
Oh, I appreciate it. You got www.coachabdullah.com. That's COACHABDULLAH.com. I have Coach Abdullah 3 on Instagram. I have on YouTube Coach Abdullah. It's my pleasure to be on this panel with all these great guests, and I appreciate Coach Stokes. Like I've been, told Coach Stokes that even though he's never been to Saudi Arabia, the boxing community here knows about Coach Stokes and what he's doing, and I appreciate you having me on the show.
Thank you. Me and my wife are looking forward to come over there, brother. Maybe we can be training one of them kings and queens over there. Get some real bread.
Yeah, I heard that. Hey.
All right, hold on a second. Coach Julius, please let everybody know how they can get in contact with you and what you're doing. And those of you that don't know, but this brother, he's the brother of one of the most baddest men to ever step in the ring, Gerald McClellan. This is Gerald McClellan's youngest brother. This is Julius Pruitt right here. Coach, can you let everybody know how they get in contact with you?
Well, I just use Instagram. It's JP_boxing_815. And I like to just say thank you for Coach Stokes for having me a part of this panel. And I know me and you, we pretty close to each other.
Yeah.
So we'll be meeting face to face pretty soon.
We will. Thank you, Coach. Hold on. Coach Ron Sims, man, this is my man, Coach, man. Hey, I wish I could link up with you, but you all the way in India, brother. How's India? Do you like it?
Oh, I love boxing. I love what I'm doing. I'm helping develop athletes, and I'm living a life, man. I live in paradise.
Living your best life, huh?
Yes, I sure am. I do have Instagram. I think I'm Tag Boxing 2 at Instagram. I'm not sure. Then I'm also on Facebook. Ron, you just hit up Ron Sims on Facebook. I post a lot of videos, post a lot of photos. I have over probably 15,000 photos throughout my years with amateur boxing, pro boxing, all types of boxing. I thank you, Steve, for hitting me up and letting me know about being a part of this roundtable. It's great to see you. Great to see Coach Peak. Great to see Steve Cunningham, a lot of knowledge, interesting, always have interesting things to speak about when you speak with Steve Cunningham, because he has a lot of knowledge, and I appreciate him, and I appreciate you. I definitely appreciate Coach P, because she spoke tonight, and she showed what the type of experience she has. She has a lot of knowledge, and she shares, and I love all that you all do and bring to this world of boxing.
Hey, this is actually the first time me, you, and Steve have been civil towards each other besides trying to take each other's head off during the armed forces. You notice that? We used to fight against each other, all of us, all our services, and we used to try to kill each other. So,
hey, Cunningham, I remember when I first met Cunningham in Norfolk. I was just coming back to the Virginia area, and I stopped by. What's my man's name? What was his coach? What was your coach? What was the coach's name?
Coach Chase.
Coach Chase, yeah. I stopped by and they were working out. They didn't have anybody for Steve to spar. And
yep.
I was like, hey, I'll work with him. They was like, wait, no, you travel. I said, yeah, I got my mouthpiece in the car.
Yo, for real.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks. Hey, Steve. Hey, please let everybody know how to follow you.
Yeah, I'm on. Sorry, I'm in the car, man. I had to just closed the gym. I'm on Instagram, The Real USS. You can get me there. Twitter, USS Cunningham, and Facebook, just Steve Cunningham. Hit me up, man. We talk. I go, like Ron said, I talk about a lot of stuff, man. I'm learning. It's a pleasure to be on this great panel, man. Awesome, everybody, man. Much respect to everybody, and damn, it is a pleasure, man. Anytime, Steve. Anytime.
No doubt, no doubt. I say we all need to get together with Coach Abdullah and take a trip to Saudi Arabia, man.
I'm with that.
For real, straight up. Let's do it, Coach. Coach, we gonna link. We all link up. Okay, we
Come
all
on.
we all gonna do
We
it.
just did cruiserweight championship in Jeddah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
Bet we gonna. Okay.
Tyson, Evander Holyfield. You know, everybody came out to Saudi. It was just before I went and flew out to LA. They had the Super 6 Cruiserweight Championship.
Bet we gonna hold you to that, Coach. You know, I've been talking to you for 2 years now, so we're gonna make that happen.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. And last but not least, Coach Peak.
Hey, babe.
Hey.
Well, this has been great. Hey, Ron, I'm so happy that you're doing well. It's good to see you. You look good. You're sounding good. You know, miss you over here. You know, this was a great table. Good people. And I always appreciate my son inviting me to the table because he knows, you know, I'm so passionate about boxing. I could talk to anybody about anything for a long time. So this was a great one. Anybody who wants to contact me for any reason, all you have to do is go with Coach Gloria Peak, and I have a Facebook page, a YouTube channel, and Instagram, and you use that that handle, Coach Gloria Peak, and it'll get you into any of those three. So contact me, reach out. You need anything, just give a holler. I'll get back to you, trust me.
All right, hold on a second.